Nothing says 2017 like some bad polka dot and chevrons. I paid $4 for that? $4 for some polka dots. Oh no. Oh, welcome friends back to my channel. We are doing another video where we talk about my Teachers Pay Teacher purchases. I'm gonna go down a little bit so my head's not, oops, wrong way. Whenever I show this in my classroom or my home, I get questions about it. It's basically a desk on wheels and it goes up and down. I have the same thing in my classroom in black. This is from Amazon. I can link it down below. The little desk mat situation is Shein. This headband is new, acquired from TJ Maxx this summer, and my t-shirt, well, it says lights, camera, teach, smile. I'm well aware of what the actual lyrics are, but I'm an adult. It's okay. Okay, here we go. I know in the last video where I was talking about my Teachers Pay Teacher purchases from this previous school year, where I said if you comment 2023, I will talk about the previous school year. But when I was done editing that video, I was just kind of curious and I went back to student teaching Monica. And oh man, it was just absolute gold, and I couldn't wait to share just what was happening student teaching in the life of Monica. So we'll start there first, just because I find it amusing. So we have to go back all the way to 23 pages of Teachers Pay Teachers. So little hint, you can get to the URL by just changing that last number. And I know it's 23 because I was looking at it. So here we are. The very first thing that I ever bought on Teachers Pay Teachers was the back to school clip art, coloring boards, coloring pages, door decor. It was recently updated in 2013, so who knows what it used to look like in 2015. In my last video, I was just kind of showing you guys the selected previews that the sellers had available, because all of those products were things that like you could totally buy and use this year. Some of these are absolute gold. Now this one in particular is not, and it's a zip format, so I'm not going to open this one because the preview is pretty good. The freebie that I bought was November of 2015. I would have been finishing up a placement class, not necessarily a student teaching placement. So what I did first is I went into my EBD, Emotional Behavior Disorders placement. So I did a 3-week student teaching internship at basically a boarding school for students with behavior needs, and it was like, for most of these kids, it was either go to this school or go to juvie. So it was a really interesting place to learn about students with behavior disorders. And I mean, they had like armed guards and locked rooms, and they had like the full authorization to put kids in like a padded jacket, padded room situation. And there were times where like they cleared the room and a big burly guy would come in and take a kid out. It was really an experience. But anyways, I don't know why I was getting coloring pages in November. And then also in November, I sign language, food, and animal cards. I was working on my sign language certification, so by no means was I fluent. I just had enough classes of sign language that I had taken that I had earned the certificate through the university. And now, like, I can do the alphabet and I can do the basics. Most of it I've entirely forgotten, but I would really love if I ever got a student who is deaf and who used sign as their main language. That would be so fun to just re-immerse myself in it, because I enjoyed it. It's just sometimes like a language isn't like riding a bike. You can't just like get back on it. I've definitely forgotten a lot of things. So here we just have vocabulary cards of how to sign them. I'm going to assume I was probably using this for a class and I needed to know how to sign something, and not that I was using it for teaching purposes. Okay, now November 3rd, response to interventions, if then, reading interventions menu. Let's check it out. Okay, so like this is super interesting. If I picked this up at a hard copy at like a district professional development, I would probably use it. And honestly, like you can make IEP goals out of a lot of these things. Like first you do this, and then your second benchmark would be this next thing. Yeah, this is good. I will probably come back to that. I'm going to assume I probably was using that for a class, and hey, that looks like a good resource. Too bad I haven't opened it in Oh, about 10 years. Oh, but because I opened it, it changed the order. Oh, that's a problem. Okay, so this next one is Blends and Digraphs freebie. This is super basic. Thank goodness it was free. And then we have these rhyming center or game for short vowels. I'm going to guess that this was like a Go Fish scenario. I probably was using this with a student, but I think that I was in a kindergarten placement at about this time. And now here we are in December. So this was when I was in that emotional behavior disorder school. Let us all look at this. I must have been very, very desperate. Just a simple exit ticket. And this is just a real work of art. Yeah, I'm going to just go ahead and I'm going to delete that because I could make something much better myself. And I don't really use exit slips because most of the time I'm teaching a small group, but I'm well aware of where the skill sets for those students are. I feel like exit tickets are something that you do a lot more whole group, and I really don't teach whole group. Culture shock, teaching first impressions in cultures. Let's take a look at this. Oh, I don't have PowerPoint. I'm cheap. So it's going to open in Keynote, so it's not going to look the same. Shout out the adjectives. I'm so confused. Like, I get how that's a culture shock. Like, we don't have piercings like that. Our hairstyles aren't like that. You could talk about the environment. Maybe the body paint. And then typical Backstreet Boy look. What was I doing? I don't... Oh my. Ugly? Funny? Yeah, I think we can go ahead and delete that. Okay, hashtags exit pass. Yep, still struggling in my student teaching placement in that emotional behavior disorder school. Let's take a look at it. Okay, we're sideways. Oops, upside down. Here we go. Hashtags are used on social media to categorize information. Okay, yeah, we get this. So is this a bulletin board? What is happening? Why would you use a hashtag for an exit slip? I think we can get rid of that as well. Please tell me that was free. I mean, you know, student teaching, you're feeling pretty cheap. That's kind of annoying though because I downloaded it, even though I have it by recent purchases, because I just recently downloaded it, it went back to the beginning, so now I'm going to have to get rid of that. And this one is recently updated in 2020, if you call that recent. It's getting to know your students' back to school interest, so just a simple paper, my favorite books, my favorite activities, my top 3 goals. It's free and it's simple. I'm positive I have better things, but nice to know it's there, I guess. Okay, here's another all about me. This is, again, December, and this looks very simple. Yeah, just a very simple, like, get to know you activity. I don't know why I would have been doing this, because I wouldn't have had any students that were using picture symbols. And the fact that I paid $1 for just some adjectives. And then when I was at my emotional behavior disorder placement, basically took over social studies and I focused on the Civil War. It's nice that I'm going through these now because 5th grade we use Wit and Wisdom and they have a big unit on the Civil War. So one of the books that I had bought for my student teaching placement is called Battle Lines. It's a graphic novel of the Civil War. And it can get a little, graphic because it was intended for high school. So there were a couple pages in my current, 5th grade. I'll skip past the pages and the kids don't notice. But when I was doing my placement, those were high school age kids, so that was fine. Honestly, I wonder how much I paid for this. So like this one is $1.99. Looks like it's a lot of, it's only 2 pages, so I paid $1 for that page and $1 for that page. Looks like some simple questions and some simple historical pictures and a document. I might bring that back out again this year. I do have a 5th grader that'll be in that class. And this is free. I have a good history background. I have a minor in social studies. So it looks like we've got, guided notes. Got some guided notes. We've got a bell ringer. I don't want to update. Sorry, y'all. Hope it's going to work. And then we've got a social history of the American Civil War. That was free. Very basic. Civil War timeline activity. How much were you? Free. At least I was frugal. Guided notes for interactive lecture of the Civil War. Free. Only 6 pages. I don't want to download these so that they end up in the beginning, because then I'll be looking at them. Another freebie, The Road to the Civil War Timeline. It's a project at least it was free. I would never use this. I can't remove it now because I just downloaded it and it's back on my main. Oh no, I opened it in a tab, so I can remove it. Whew. This one I found hilarious. I'll meet the student teacher letter. It's literally just like your typical PowerPoint background with a text box. Oh, I was desperate, I'm sure. So we can get rid of that because I actually showed you what my Meet the Teacher letter looks like in my most previous video. And then 2nd grade Common Core, so you can see that this is in February. So I was in the thick of my actual student teaching placement. And I actually didn't officially student teach, I intern teaching instead. So I had to get like a intern license and I was getting paid $3,000. However, my placement was almost an hour away. So me and another girl who was at the high school level, we would switch weeks that we would drive. So yes, we got paid, but also we were spending a lot of money on gas. But it was a really good experience because I was basically treated like a teacher. I had my own classroom. I had my own roster of students. Like if something was going chaotically or bad, they didn't really know. It was just on me because I never had, that mentor teacher watching the whole lesson happen. So I learned really fast how to be a good and efficient teacher. But I definitely didn't have as much access to curriculum and materials that I do now in my current school. Like sometimes I have looked back at my student teaching and just thought about like how much better I could have taught those kids if I had access to the materials that I have now in my current school district. But anyways, there was a little boy there. We were really struggling on money. I think he was a 5th grader and we didn't know any of our coins except for the penny, and we only knew that because that was the pretty goldish looking one. It's crazy that those kids that I had student teaching with are now adults. Like, that's weird. I don't really feel that old. And then we have a time to go fishing, telling time, games. Let's check this one out. I mean, it's super cute, but I have, actual fun digital games. I have actual board games. I think we can get rid of that one. And you know what? I can go ahead and get rid of this one because I have all of the touch math materials. I have more math materials than I know what to do with, honestly. Like, I am so blessed. Growth mindset poster. This is free, so I'm going to assume I probably had someone that was being a negative Nelly, and I was looking for some positive things to say in response to something like, I'm so dumb. I could say, oh, well, you were working very hard on that assignment. You are very nice to your classmates. That sort of thing. And then we have, I remember spending a significant amount of time making this clock. So they give you the flower petals, they gave you the little leaves, the stem, and you bet I made that flower clock, and Oh, thank goodness it was free. It's a cute idea, but you know, unless you're like super gluing it directly on top of the clock, there's no way that it's ever actually staying on there. So we're gonna go ahead and remove that. And then we have an analog clocks with colorful Valentine's Day hands. What's funny is in my last video, I was talking about Valentine's Day clocks too. And, well, this is nice that the hand itself is colored. I guess it's a good introductory piece for teaching telling time. So we won't get rid of that one. We'll keep that. You know, I can only think that I was feeling desperate because, well, that's a very typical basic worksheet. We can get rid of that one. Clock games, freebie. Let's check it out. This is an old resource. Draw a time card and cover a clock with matching time. The first player to get 3 in a row wins. If there's no clock for the card drawn, the player loses a turn. Honestly, I'm just overwhelmed at how close these clocks are to each other. If I'm overwhelmed, others will be overwhelmed. So I think we can get rid of that one too. I am feeling very thankful that I was a frugal person during student teaching. This is a fall math pack freebie from the MoFat Girls. They have really good material. Even though this hasn't been updated since 2016, it's still very usable. Introducing multiplication facts with polygons. This looks interesting. So let the students count the number of sides on each polygon until they start internalizing the multiplication pattern. What? Yeah, an octagon has 9 sides. So like here's 9. And then you count 9 more and you have 18. Is that what we're going at? Like it'd be much more efficient to just do a 9 and a 9 is 18. And you know, 9 sides of an octagon. I don't get it. Like, yes, 1 triangle is 3 sides. 2 triangles would be 6 sides, but couldn't we just teach repeated addition? 3 plus 3 is 6. Yep, we're gonna delete that. Multiplication, practice freebie. I mean, this isn't the worst. Would I ever use this again? Probably not, because I have much better things to choose from. But, you know, desperate times in student teaching land, like, that was probably a good resource for me. Here we have a board game, Race Against Time. Somebody was struggling with their analog clocks, I think. Okay, what do we got? So you get a game board, you get your clock, and you got game pieces. You probably draw a card, it's got a clock on, and you move it if you get it right. I'm going to assume that's what it was. I have actual games for this now, so we can get rid of you. Free clip art frames. Oh man, nothing says 2017 like some bad polka dot and chevrons. Oh, bless me. Goodbye. You know what? I realized we're already in my first year of teaching, because this 2016 would have been my end of student teaching, and then all the way back in these February times, February 2017 would have been my first year of teaching, because I did after school tutoring and, you know, paid. And I remember I chose to read Shiloh with the group of girls that I was tutoring, and so I ended up, we had the books in the library because we chose the books on their guided reading level, and then I found these to talk about the vocabulary of the terms and practice our writing, because that's just what we did then. Battery is dying. So, I wonder how much I spent on that. Free, but it's always free to begin with, and then it goes downhill from there. Free, this is good. Introduction to multiplication, groups of, and repeated addition. Free. So in our curriculum, so we use Bridges Math, we call that loops and groups. Shiloh. Ooh, a lesson plan even. I paid $10 for that. Will I ever use it again? Probably not. Draw an Uno-inspired card game, multiplying by 1. I'm assuming that was free because, I mean, multiplying by 1 is, you know, pretty basic. I bet you if I look in my multiplication drawer that I probably still have those. Little shape mini posters. I paid $3 for these. You know what? I bet you I've never used those. Well, that's a shame. My shape books. At least that was free. Something that if I don't have in my shape bin currently that I use for the unique learning system when the shape units come around, it's something that I would possibly use again. Common Core 2-dimensional shape posters. Wow, there's a lot of polka dot and true 2016 last updated form. Oh, yes. I think that we can get rid of you. Your students will love the bright and colorful posters hanging in your room. Yeah, I think we'll do better without. We don't need you anymore. Polka dot shape posters. I was just feeling that wall decor. Remove. Sorry. Adios. Uneven apples. Math Center freebie. Well, there's no preview. I mean, I guess if you're doing odd and even and you don't get 3, 2's a friend, 1's left over, be a good thing to do. Odd and even, first grade math lesson. How much did I pay for that? I'm feeling nervous. Oh, it was free. Circle odd or even. 6. Even. 9. Even. It's a flip chart file, which I think you can put on PowerPoint, but, you know, Jack Hartman has stuff. We can get rid of you. Zapazoid roomrecess.com. It's a PNG. Is this going to work? How do I play? Is this just a picture? That I push download. I mean, there's little monsters and everything. Click here to play. Well, yeah, I clicked. Literally, it's a link. Oh my goodness. Why is that on Teachers Pay Teachers? And the worst is I didn't open it in a tab, so now it's in the beginning of my stuff again. Spring Math and Literacy Centers. Let's take a look at you. Here we got some brightly colored Easter eggs. That is a pattern. Some carrots, odd numbers and even numbers. I mean, the background. Holy molies. Spring things, okay. Animals. Do you consider an egg an animal? I don't know. Oh, I paid $5.50 for this? Oh my goodness! You know, if it was updated, it wouldn't be that bad. Last updated 2022. Some of the graphics have been changed. I think you could change a little bit more, friend Barbara. Okay, math clue words. I know I had students with story problems that were struggling with that. I probably have a laminated copy of that somewhere. Problem solving with Monsters Math Center. Let's check you out. $2. Can't read that, I gotta download it. Can I get a refund? In this center, children use colored monsters to assist with solving word problems. The center can be used again and again as it includes 16 different word problems using 5, 6, 7, or 8 monsters. I used blank monsters to solve this problem. This is what I think it looks like. What? Oh, here we go. Problem 1. 5 monsters, 3 are yellow. The number of red and green monsters is equal. Okay. I can't believe I spent money on that. Writing numbers from 1 to 48. You could literally make this on PowerPoint in a second. It's It's literally just a table that you could make. Thank goodness I didn't spend any money on that. Okay, IEP summary, every 6 weeks, school to parent. I don't know about you guys, but I don't talk to my parents in a written format every 6 weeks. That sounds like a nightmare. Class Dojo for the win, y'all. Let's take a look at this. Which I guess Class Dojo is written, but it's like, text. It's not official. So it looks like the report cards I got when I was back in elementary school. Yeah, we can get rid of that. Goodbye. Why is it here if I can't delete it? That's obnoxious. I really liked this actually, but it's totally a ripoff of actual touch math, but like better looking. What is up with the polka dots? Come on, 2017. Uneven numbers, finding color, mystery pictures. Ooh. So the odd numbers are black. I mean, it's fun. Maybe we'll try the beginning of the year just for kicks. Oh, more Shiloh. And it was free. Is this literally the questions? This is it? Considering there's one review, I'm gonna guess yes. Okay, we can get rid of you. Remove. Free place value games for 3-digit numbers with hundreds. Place value is always hard for kids. Multiplication facts booklet for 2. That looks like arrays. It's free. Multiplication madness. Yep, madness is right with that polka dot. Oh, thank goodness that was free. Let's look at this just for kicks. Spin an array. It looks like the books that older teachers used to get that they'd have to make copies out of, and that's how they got their bulletin boards done, and that's where they got all their resources from, like before the internet. I think we can get rid of that madness. Math Center game, rounding with the number line, up to the tens, thousands. I'm gonna guess this is not free. I paid $3 for this. Okay, well this looks nice though. It gives the actual number line, it gives you the cards, and it's big enough that you can put it on there. Okay, that looks good. And you know what? I'm going to download that so it ends up in the beginning so that I won't delete it, and I will use it again this year because rounding is difficult for kids. Multi-digit multiplication strategy posters. We are getting to the end of 2017. So it looks like it's the standard method of multiplication. And it was free. Oh, the polka dot. I mean, look at the title. You can barely read that. Well, we can get rid of you. We don't often teach the standard formation until they get to 4th grade. 3rd grade's all about the strategies to get it. Misty's Corner. I used to really like her back in the day. I bet you I did pay my $20. It's just such a bummer that she doesn't actually teach anymore, but she kind of pretends to teach. And I would prefer to learn things and be taught new things by people that are still in the classroom, whether they be like an interventionist or like a title teacher. Like, you don't necessarily have to have a classroom of students, but just like somewhat involved. And she just sells the stuff. I don't use anything from this. And, when I started, I printed everything out. I wrote everything in there. I did all my student contact information, all their accommodations. And did I ever look at it again? No. So I paid $20 for something, and now that I'll never use again. What a bummer. I have these in my classroom, but it's kind of behind my small group area. It doesn't have a label on it, but I do use it. And, for not being updated since 2017, like, it still looks great. How much did I spend on that? $4.50. Yeah, worth it. You can get them in the Fry words, or you can do the Dolce version too. So that's nice to have that separation. Peta banners, polka dots. Oh, polka dots. It's just literally. I paid $4 for that. $4 for some polka dots. Oh no. What was I doing? And then some Lily Pulitzer inspired binder covers. I bet you that wasn't free. $7. Oh my goodness. And well, there's the binder spines, but I don't wear floral, let's be honest. Oh, live, laugh, eat, and learn. Yeah, laugh and learn is right. I'm disappointed in myself. Looks like I bought it in 2017, but I last opened it in 2018. Looks like it's just all the sight words, and so this isn't something I would necessarily do in the classroom anymore, but I'm sure back in 2017 I was probably presenting these as my sight words because I didn't have Foundation sight words at the time. I know I've sent like little bundles of these home for students to practice, so it's not all for naught. How much did I spend? Probably a lot. Oh, hello. Why is it just open to her face? Is it not sold anymore? What's happening? Looks like she's probably not selling it anymore. Maybe a LOI and her having a disagreement. Here we have reading mastery cards. Again, flashcard queen, $4. I definitely use these a lot in the beginning, and I have a little container of them, but I know I gave them to the interventionist because she was using the beginning levels of reading mastery more than me, and I don't know where they are anymore. Parent notes, parent communication. Let's take a look. I mean, field trip reminders, that's good for, your gen ed teacher. I feel like fantastic news, that's something I just sent on Class Dojo because the kids lose it all. It was free, so that's good. I'm just going to remove that. Sight word, go fish. I have this in the classroom and I've used it quite often and I still use it. $3.50, worth it. Writing a narrative, writing a sequence of events and providing a closure. How much were you? $7. And I haven't opened it since 2017. Well, no time like the present. Let's take a look. 83 pages, so I mean that's promising. Is this literally just, okay, characters. Draw a picture of the characters. Setting, draw a picture of the setting, okay. So, looks like graphic organizers. We've got story stem starters. We've got some stories to base it off of as an example. Oh boy. I mean, you can make a narrative for the first day of school. The clip art is so bad. Can you imagine a kid being like, and it was the last day of school and we all lived happily ever after. Oh man, I can't believe I spent money on that. Math word problem keywords. I used to have that laminated and hanging up. When the roof leaked, I know this got destroyed. I don't do a lot with keywords and story problems anymore, but I mean, it was okay. How much did I spend on that? $2 for a big old key. Letter reversal activities. I can already tell this is golden just by the look of this preview. So the bed trick. We got some B's and some D's and some circles. That is a lot of black. Ooh, I love a video. $5.50. So I paid $20 for those phonics books. I better take a look at that this school year because that's 4 Starbucks coffees. So then we've got interactive notebooks for 4th grade literature. Back then we didn't have a reading curriculum. I paid $20 for this, and I remember trying to use it during tutoring and it didn't work because it was just way too much coloring and gluing and not enough work. Ugh, $20 wasted. Personal information practice for special education. I use these to this very day. You have these pencil pouches. Wait till they go on sale at Walmart. They're always way cheap at the end of the back to school season. You put the Velcro on the top. Then you can have the student's name. You can have their computer password. You can have their address, their lunch number, their birthday. These are great. And it was only $3. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Something that I've still used to this day. Parent input form for IEP meetings. I hope I didn't pay for that because the district has one that we use. Free. Okay, good. I can get rid of that, though. Candyland game, Fry Words bundle. I use this on a normal Candyland board. You can always tell, I guess, when it's not... Looks like you can't buy it anymore because it just goes to the person's head. So who knows how much I actually paid for it. Book recommendations poster. Free. There's no preview? Like, what are we looking at? Oh, is it assignment? Oh, look at that. That's prime PowerPoint word art right there. Okay, so we can get rid of that. So Frozen E, a magical CVCE, long vowel phonics unit. This is fun because you have the word cap, and then you have a little wand with the E on it, and then you put the wand in front of it, and cap becomes cape. This is fun. This is worth it. How much did I spend? $6. Yeah, it's a fun unit. Count to 30 practice pages. Last opened in 2020, so somewhat recently opened. I paid $6 for that. Winter coloring pages and writing papers. I hope I didn't spend money on coloring pages. $3! Oh no! Ay, ay, ay. Christmas craft. I think these are the ones that you put on top of a milk carton. It was free. A nutcracker craft. Free. Free math manipulative labels. Look at that. Oh boy. That's prime 2017 right there. Rainbow chevron. Thank goodness that was free. We can get rid of you. Teacher toolbox labels, black. I don't even have a teacher toolbox. Please tell me I didn't pay for that. Oh, free. Okay, 2D and 3D shapes, foldable emergent reader. At least it's a freebie. Yeah, I'm never going to use that. Okay, we can get rid of you. I have real books that I can use for that. Differentiated reading passage freebie. Looks okay. Kindergarten math fact sample. And then we've got Magic Treehouse. So that was another thing that I was doing during tutoring. So $3.75. Free days of the week wheel. This is something that's in with my calendar stuff for students that struggle with knowing what's the next day. Once of the year display cards for when you are desperate for something for a calendar. Hope I didn't pay for that. Free, thank goodness. Okay, we can delete you. Valentine's Day coloring pages. I am sure I paid for that. $3. Ay. There's no academic content at all. Like set word practice pre-primer. So these are good. It has the blocks so you can see like what the shape of the letter should look like. I'm surprised that that's free because that looks like a good quality resource. 2D shapes poster, freebie, perimeter PowerPoint, Common Core. I don't teach off of PowerPoint because I have Connecting Math Concepts that has their math presentations right there. So yeah, I guess I can get rid of that. There's nothing on that Connecting Math Concepts wouldn't have. More Magic Treehouse that I used for tutoring. $4.95. Charlotte's Web, that would have been a tutoring thing. $9.50. I think Charlotte's Web might be something that shows up for the DLM as one of the texts that you're supposed to read to students prior so that they have knowledge of the characters, but I don't know what grade level. St. Patrick's Day writing, build a leprechaun trap. Our school does nothing really fun for St. Patrick's Day because we don't want to deal with the chaos. Like, I spent $1 on this. Ugh. How to Catch a Leprechaun graphic organizer. Free. Another Magic Treehouse. I'm sure I spent money. Yep, $3.75. Arrow clip art. We don't need you. St. Patrick's Day sequencing activities were free. A puzzle piece. That's too much reading. Remove. Elapsed time number line freebie. It's literally just a paper with a number line. Get rid of. Second grade 5-a-day math spiral. I still use these to this day. This is really good. What grade level is this? $18, and I actually was using this way up until the end of the school year this year with a certain student. So $18 and worth it. My only thing is it's kind of a lot of math onto a small paper, so I would print it on to the normal and then blow it up on the school copy machine using the 11x17. We got another Magic Treehouse. We gotta be coming to the end of this page. Woo! $3.75. LLI Red Writing Extensions. $15. Yikes. Another Magic Treehouse. $4.95. So like literally every book I was paying $5. Tragic. Ugh, LLI Green. How much money did I spend there? $11.50. Oh man, that was an expensive year. And now we're into May of 2018. The number of the day. So basically, we would put like, if it's day 83, the 83 would go there. Put it in expanded form. I mean, $1.50 isn't bad if you need to work on all those skills with repetition, but also when you're repeating it, it's just the next number, like they can kind of get into the pattern. Another Magic Treehouse book needs more money. $5. Dolphins at Daybreak, more money, more Magic Treehouse, $3. Money Chant posters. This is on my movable pocket chart. Literally look at them every single day. It says they've received a color update, and honestly, this is better looking than what I currently have. So if I remember, we're going to re-download and reprint those the next time we're at school. See, it's a good thing we're going through this. And then the last thing that we're talking about is a Magic E worksheet, but it's Halloween themed, but I bought it in May. Yeah, it's literally got the E right there. There's nothing educational except for copying the E. Okay. So, because I deleted that, something else popped up, and you could see that I opened it at the end of August. So this is when I was working on my classroom library books finds, and so obviously I use these all the time. Every time I get a new book, I add a new little label spine. $8.50, and probably the best $9 I've ever spent. My classroom library looks impeccable. So this is everything that we bought. Student teaching and first year of teaching off of Teachers Paid Teachers back in 2017 and 2018. Some things good, a whole lot of bad. And if you were around in 2017, you know that polka dot and chevron were big. Let's never go back. Never. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.